Okay, Joe Diamiti, TTRP TV. Here I am at the return once again, and speaking to Marilyn. Is that the correct pronunciation?
A good pronunciation. Right?
Very good. Marilyn, and she and her partner and their two young children did a voyage from Alaska down to the tip of South America, and it took 3 years. And I just saw her film, and we're here to talk about how that happened. So all you people who think it's worrying getting on a bike, let's listen to Marilyn's story. Hi, Marilyn. How are you?
Yes, good. And you?
Yes, very good. So when did that voyage take place? We just saw the film.
From 2017 until 2020. Actually, we just wanted to go, and in case we have to come back because we don't like, we would have come back at 1 year after or so. But then actually it's the COVID who stopped us. If not, we will still be on the road.
Oh, COVID stopped you. Yes, you said that in the film. And your children were how old?
They were 1 year old and 3 year old at the beginning in Alaska, and they were 4 and 6 years old at the end in Patagonia.
So they grew up literally on the bicycle in the trailer, as we saw in the movie. And the name of your movie is?
Velomerica.
As is her book.
From Alaska to Patagonia, 21,741 kilometers. In 3 years.
In 3 years. So that's a lot of pedaling. And did you stop and work at all, or did you just continue? Were you continually moving the whole time?
No, sometimes we stopped as well to have a rest, or because we met people who were offering us to stay with them, or in Amazonic forest in Ecuador because a dog bite me, so I couldn't bike anymore. I have to stop 1 month, but we were in the middle of indigenous community. And so we stayed 1 month, and actually it was a good thing for a bad thing because we learned the people, and I couldn't walk or bike, but I could cook. And actually I was cooking for the community, and everyone was happy, and it was funny. But we noticed that for our family organization, it was easier to be nomad, so to go through, so not to stop too long. Because if not, you have to invent activities for your child. You have to, and for us, it was easier just to go and go because activities come from alone. You met someone, and he tells you a story, or you do things. It's easy to have children like this when you always move. And,
yes. Yeah, so the natural rhythm of the nomad. Yes, and I got that from the film. That people think it's very difficult. They see you traveling with two children, setting the tent up. You get into the rhythm, and the kids are always occupied with wild animals and nature and whatever. And that young boy asked some nice questions. So your high point, you said Peru was very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why was that? Can you recap that?
Peru, it's like this. Even me now, when I saw the picture, I said, "Oh my God, how did we do?" Because you have differences unimaginable. I never saw mountain like this. It's also, oh wow, yes, nature is big. Mother Nature is, oh wow. And we were like 800 meters on the bottom, and we have to climb until more than 3,700 meters, and it was like in 1 day. Well, we just did one time this so much difference, but it was always like this, and go down and go up and go down. But I have to say that psychologically it's maybe easier because you sleep at the bottom. You know that, well, okay, tomorrow I have to climb and only climb. So you're okay in mode. Okay, it's climbing, and you're slow. You take your time. You pedal. You stop. You pedal. You stop, and it takes ages. But compared to Panama, for example, on the Caribbean coast, it's just like this, up and down, up and down. So you don't go really high, but they don't make like Peru. It's sweet, like you make and but in Panama, it's the road gets straight on, and it's more difficult actually because it's hard to go up, then you go down, then you go up.
Yes, I do know that feeling actually because I did cycle in Panama, and that's like the Massif Central here. Yeah, you go up, you go down, you go, give me the Alps, give me the mountains. Yeah. So so that's really great. I mean, so you climbed all of that 3,000 meters in a day, over 3,000 meters. The big question that everyone out there is wondering: were you a cyclist of any sort before you decided to cycle with your two children and your partner?
No, we always said we are not sport people. We are not cyclists. Like actually, we said also we are not cyclists. No, we just want to be in the nature. But we have smaller children, so you cannot walk and take the tent and the water and the food and carry the children. So the bike is the only way to tent, to go to camp in the nature, and that's what we wanted to do, just to camp in the nature. But actually, with the time, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but of course we were like doing sport. But at the beginning we said no, and at the beginning we didn't have a helm,
Cask,
a
helmet.
cask.
Yeah, yeah.
We were like we really, and then we were more professionals on the way and say okay, yes, and we also have to see what we are eating, because actually we are like sportive, high sportive. And one time in Alaska, a military just stop and say, "Are you hungry?" And we said, "Yes." And he offered us a military ration that they give to soldiers.
MREs,
Voilà,
male ready to
male
eat.
ready to eat. And we said, "Oh my God, it's light, it's really good, tasty." And we said, "We have the same needs. Are you a soldier in a in a mission?" Well, yeah, the same.
And it was a
need
mission.
Calorie, but also good food. And well, they were like in MRA. 7 bags, and we were wow, it's like a dream.
And so after the MREs ran out, what did you do for food? How did you change your cooking habits then?
Well,
after
we
this?
try to have onions and garlic for because it's also good for the blood in high mountains in Peru, for example, garlic, and it gives taste, and oil and carrots. But because it's also easy to carry for a long period of time. For example, in Alaska, we have a month between 2 supermarkets, so we have to carry all of our food.
Okay.
And also lentils. It gives you all energy. And at the beginning, I wanted to cook my own bread, and I have flour, but at the end, no, it's better pasta.
Right.
It's not heavy. It's ready in 8 minutes. It's the best to give you calorie for the next day. And sometimes you can find dehydrated soja.
Right. Were you following a vegetarian diet then?
No. We said we are vegetarian from heart, but then we said no, it's too complicated. We eat everything, and also when people invite you, we eat. It's what you offer me. I won't say oh no, this not, and it's too complicated because it's true. You need protein, you need eggs, you need and children also.
Yeah.
So we were eating everything we found.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, again, you're talking to me in a lot of ways, vegetarian. But when I travel, I was, and now I'm omnivore anyway. But anyway, yes, that's really great to know that you're flexible. You became a cyclist, you became a traveler, and your children. How did they adapt with languages? So you have a German partner, their dad. So they speak German and French, and a smattering of other languages.
But you cross the border from Mexico, and the Mexican people, they like to talk to people, and they like to talk to children. So, of course, in USA, Canada, they have a little contact, but it's more like in Europe, children, it's another world. But Mexico, no, children! So they were always asking questions, and so they have to answer, and also they want to play.
Yeah.
So children are playing in Spanish. I want to play, so I speak Spanish. They are pragmatical.
Yeah.
They are not talking Spanish because it's useful for after. No, it's because there's a concrete needs. And then it was their not the mother tongue, but the language everyone was speaking around.
From Mexico all the way down.
So it's in 2 months they could talk in Spanish. They were like completely trilingual.
Yeah. Well, your Spanish is pretty good too. I saw you on that. Did you have Spanish before the trip?
Yes, yeah. We are in love with Spanish, and it's also our language, communication language between me and my husband, who is a German. And we met in Guatemala. We were working in Guatemala, so we were talking Spanish. And so we love that.
Okay, because I saw you on that being interviewed on the TV show there, and I said, "Whoa, her Spanish got pretty darn good. In a couple.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we went to America as well, because we wanted to talk to the people. Hey, what are you doing? What do you think? What do you eat? How do you live? And also, what do you think of our bike trip? It's also interesting to have that. So it was, for me, it was important to talk to the people, that I could understand them, and then I could talk to them and make an exchange.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because I did a lot of traveling, as we spoke about before, by bike. And in Asia, I felt everything was very topical, whereas I spoke Spanish. And when in those countries, it was much nicer to get in contact. Now I do a lot of cycle touring in France, and it's great because I speak French, and I just feel like I'm traveling again. I could talk to somebody who didn't grow up in an American culture and get to contact with them. Yeah, very important. So give me a good takeaway from your trip. Something to inspire somebody out there who's watching to get on a bike. Give me.
Maybe go ahead. If you have little children, it's much more to have them outside in the nature. It will be more relaxed for you than inside, where everywhere everything is dead material. So you have to animate everything. If not, nothing's happen. Also from the brain, from everything. You put them outside, and it goes from alone. You don't have to do anything. You just have to put the tent, to cook the meal, and to take care that they sleep. But the rest you just watch, and every day you're like, oh wow, but how do they learn everything? It's incredible.
Okay, so my big question is, how are they dealing with? How long you been back?
3 years ago.
So how are they dealing? Did you put them in school? Did you put?
Well, but they are children. It means what is the past is the past. The future is not there. It's the present. And the present, well, they have a family. They are with mama, papa, and they take it like it's normal. So it's like this. It's like this. And also they get used, because we were always changing land and food and people. So they are adaptable. It wasn't a shock. It was like natural, like a fish in water. We are more like complicating, and it's harder to be back. But for the children, no.
Yeah, they just go with the flow. And actually, I'm just dates in my head and everything. And you mentioned COVID, so they came back to confinement as well.
Yeah, well, it was crazy. So you go from liberty, freedom in the nature, big spaces, and you are like in a four wall, and you see the difference. So we were every day. We were, wow, look what they learn, look what they do, and then you are with the school at home, because you are confined, and you said, but it doesn't come inside. There's something. So you see, it's not the children who have problem in learning. It's more the environment. That's why we learn. It's not like the children, they are made for learn. And if you put them outside, they will learn a lot of things. It's incredible. But biology, astrophysician, everything is in the nature. And also in the men world, you see numbers, you see letters. So they will ask you, and they are learning asking so much question. But you put them inside, and then it's.
And cooking, they learn. And I saw on the film, the older one started in the chariot, but then went on her own bicycle.
Yeah. They were, but she wanted to bike by herself and everything. But then it's just my limits. After 6 months and 6,000 kilometers, we crossed Mexico, Belize, and in Guatemala. I said, "Wow, no, I cannot. It's too much for me." She was. I have 15 kilos more to carry, and it was.
Because she was attached to your bicycle.
Yes, because she was 4 years old.
Yeah, with a little trailer bike that attached to the back of the bike. Yeah.
Then the trailer, they were about the brother and sister together.
Yeah.
So she get back to the trailer. Yeah.
Right. Well, Marilyn, that was just excellent, and your voyage sounded great, and your kids. Well, one I only saw one.
Yes.
Yeah, she came up on the stage.
Third one, because when I was pregnant when we came back. So it's my third one you saw now, yeah. So she's biking also. She's asking not every day, but regularly, when do we go back to Alaska?
Okay.
The Velomerica too.
So is that in the work?
Too. But we cannot offer this big trip to our two first children, and then she's the last one who. But every time we can, we go out. So for 2 weeks or 6 weeks in the summer, we are out.
Where do you live?
Now in Berlin. Ouais. But now we are making a Tour de France, and we stop. We let the bike at family's place, and then we bike from family to family. Let the bike go back to Berlin, then come back. Then
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay, well, I look forward to your next trip, your next movie, and the return in 2 years. Maybe we'll see another movie of you with 3 children.
Who knows? Ouais, ouais.
Okay, Marilyn, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Joe Diamiti, TTRP TV, coming at you from the return, and what a great story that was. Okay, everyone, take care.